This podcast was produced on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Welcome to Australia. Aussie. This is kind of tragic.
Someone who is such a connoisseur of reality television.
The content is hideous.
So sorry about this. Oh my God.
This is The Cringe is Real, a reality TV recap podcast that probes the notion of the Australian culture cringe. I'm Sam Cremian and I've watched over 700 hours of Survivor, so I feel qualified to cringe at pop culture. This season, however, I'll be recapping the refreshed version of the Real Housewives of Sydney every Tuesday on Binge with a super special guest each week. And this week, I am lucky enough to be joined by Sydney drag icon, the super duper Minnie Cooper. Minnie is a legendary dancer, choreographer and performer who's no stranger to the small screen, having appeared on Australia's Got Talent and of course for being the breakout star of Drag Race Down Under Season 2. The super duper Minnie Cooper. Welcome
Hello.
to The Cringe is Real. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me. I love talking about people with money.
What's got you cringing this week?
Oh, always Donald Trump.
What's he doing?
I think it may be because I happen to follow, I watch a lot of political stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And his thing this week is that he's got a better body than Joe Biden.
Oh, I did say that. Oh, God.
Yeah. So that's my cringe of the week.
Oh, yeah.
I suppose looking like what does he look like? What's those orange-coloured cheese balls? What
a Cheeto.
A Cheeto, looking like a Cheeto. And the shape of one too.
Talking about Drag Race before we move on to the Housewives, how do you feel about season 3? It's just finished. Do you think the shade that the season sort of received from the fandom was justified, or do you think people are being a bit harsh?
Do you know what's funny? I feel bad commenting on it sometimes because I know what it feels like to be a part of it.
Yeah.
But I do think, do you know who I blame primarily? Is the storytelling of the producers. That's who I blame. Because it was things like, for one example, for storytelling, like Floor's episode with when they did where they called it a brunch, but it was a talent show. That's just confusing in storytelling in itself. Mm-hmm. And her not winning that episode,
that was very strange. I think you're right, and I think unfairly so. A lot of the fans take it out on the cast, and it's like, guys, they're doing their best with what they're given. Particularly on Down Under, I think your season we can now safely say, was the best one.
And do you know why I think that is? And I think it's because of the talent pool we had with the 10 of us. Because I think we all had lots of skills to make bad things look good.
Yeah, and there was more experienced queens as well, which I appreciated. Because
I think that's what comes into play when you're getting thrown a bad script, for example. If you've got experience, you can make a bad script seem okay.
And we need to talk about, speaking of bad scripts, the Real Housewives challenge, because as a huge Housewives fan and a Drag Race fan, I was so excited to hear they were doing this. And then what a friggin' fail.
And do you know what? I just didn't understand what was going on. Well, none of them have obviously ever watched Housewives before.
No. They should have just kept it like a reunion kind of format and had Reese Nicholson being like Andy Cohen and like stirring shit. And then they could have just improv'd the bits. That would have been amazing.
And this is where I think it comes down to, how well can you do a Housewives challenge without doing backstory? And if you don't have the time to do backstory, how can you improv with the other contestants? Do you just make it up on the spot, the backstory? That's where I think it comes down to, how do I say, in any form of art form, you need time to make something good. And if you don't have time, how good is it going to be?
Exactly.
Is that the nature of being on reality television? I feel like Drag Race Down Under just wants to make their queens look bad. They don't want to make them look good.
Honestly, I thought that was a conspiracy. And after that last season, I'm like, yep.
I don't think it's about making but it's that making a competition reality program. I don't know what it's like to film in another franchise if it's different overseas.
Would you do another one?
If you asked me a year ago, I would have said no, but I think I would say yes, because I would love, I don't know. It's until you get asked the question, it's hard to know the answer. But they did do good story on season 2, I would say. In saying that, like, I don't know, it's hard to say.
You versus everyone. I love
it. I love it versus the world.
Let's get to Housewives. When did you become a Housewives fan?
When did I become a Housewives fan? I think I started watching it when I used to download Pirate Bay illegally and allegedly. So I am a big fan of Beverly Housewives of Beverly Hills. I do love Salt Lake City, but I've only watched season 1 and 2. I've missed 3 because it's so not on binge.
Oh, really? You got to get yourself a Hey You subscription.
Yeah, but I don't want another Hey You subscription.
I'll sort you out with some links after this. But
okay,
Salt Lake City, it gets even more crazy than you could ever imagine.
But don't you think that is like the best of all those franchises altogether? Well, apparently season 3 was terrible. Is that right?
Someone went to jail, so
yeah. What was her name?
Jennifer Shah. We see her get arrested on the show, so I wouldn't call that a terrible season.
Yeah, because I saw it when they were on the bus and she's taken a microphone off and she hops in the van and drives off. As if they're not going to catch her.
I know. And with Sydney, so you watched Sydney season 1?
Yes, I was actually involved.
Oh, you were?
Yes, but we ended up on the cutting room floor.
Because I was going to say, because I just rewatched it before this season, and it ends with a cat and dog wedding. Is the last scene. And there are some drag queens there. And I was going to ask you why you weren't there, but you were.
I was there, and I choreographed a number, and yes, and we did a whole performance, put it together for no money, and ended up on the cutting room floor.
Do you know what? That whole show, like, I feel like so much would have ended up on the cutting room floor because they just went off at each other so much that the editors would have been like, fuck, we got to put all this arguing in. So there was no time for anything else. Yeah.
And let's face it, they love the drama, don't they? Lisa Holt, what's her name?
Lisa Oldfield. She was, wow. That was...
Whew. I'm sort of sad she's not back.
Me too, but at the same time, she almost was a little bit too cruel.
Yeah, I know.
To the point where some of the stuff she said, I was like, oh, I don't know if I can get behind that.
Who do I think is going to be the Lisa Oldfield of this season? It was Victoria.
Yes, so Victoria is already a friend of the pod.
Oh, is she really?
Yes, I'm obsessed. I know it's early days, but I'm into her. From the new cast, she stands out to me, and Carolyn. They're kind of the two that I'm most excited about.
And we'll get into both of them.
We'll get into it. Are you glad that Captain Eyebrows and Chewbacca are back?
Is that what they were called in season 1?
That's what they were called in season 1. And no one's mentioned these nicknames yet, so I'm just going to bring them back up.
I really like Nicole and Chrissy, and I'm glad they're back. I think they're two good choices. I would have loved Melissa Couts back because I am a Melissa Couts fan from Sexy as a Word.
And she got a bad run on the first one because she kind of was such a shrinking violet compared to all the huge personalities. So I'd like her to get another go.
Yeah, I don't think she will, though. Or do you think she said no? It's hard to say. Would you put yourself through that?
I'd love to know who got asked.
Well, before we get into the episode, what would your tagline be?
About this a lot. I think my tagline would be feedback is a gift, and I'm just so giving.
Okay, that's fair enough. Oh, what would mine be? I may have a couple of extra miles on the clock, but the motor's still running.
Amazing.
There you go.
Oh my God. You also got a shout out in this episode. They refer to a Minnie Cooper at one point.
I was
like, what?
What? I know. Do you think it's going to be Pantygate? Was it Pantygate? Was that Beverly Hills Pantygate or something? Or the Doggate one, where it's going to be the story of
Lisa Vanderpump at Lucy Juicy, Apple Juicy. Yeah, maybe there'll be a dog storyline with Dr.
I just think I think the storyline is going to be porn star all evening or season.
Me too. And I hope they veer away from it, but it seems like porn star is where they're starting with, which is a little bit, I mean, come on, girls. Get some better things to fight about.
But you know what was really bizarre? She even referred to herself as a top-class hooker or a homeless person.
I know.
She referred to herself like that.
And that's where I'm sus on it. I think the producers almost were like, you sure you're not offended by this kind of thing? Like it feels like they're pushing it.
I think so as well. So we're probably getting into that far too soon.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Let's hop in. So the episode starts, and of course we have beautiful shots of Sydney, you get the skyline, you get the beach. Terry goes on about, we're just so lucky to live here. It's the best city in the world. It's beautiful. It's looking hot. You're a Sydney queen. Do you know any of these people?
Well, I have met Chrissy and Nicole, hence I was at the final episode. They were really nice. Yeah. How did that come through? It was through, who was the dog? Was it Chrissy, her name? No, Christine.
The dog. That woman, the fabulous woman with all the plastic surgery.
Yeah, that's how they connect. But I don't know any of these women, but I probably teach their children.
Amazing. So then we have, a lot of introductions. Kate tells us that there's a lot of opportunity in Sydney. She moved here with empty pockets and big dreams.
What was one of my favorite quotes? What was it? It's offensive not to have Botox on your forehead.
So we get to Victoria. We sort of start with Victoria, and I think it's a good place to start because she is so just like doesn't give a fuck. I'm getting just rich bitch energy. She's like, yeah, I've got money. Yeah, I do heli skiing. Whatever.
Yes,
and my
I wear fur, I wear leather.
She's unapologetic. Exactly.
Yeah.
I love as well. She goes, oh yeah, love my kids, but that's boring. Let's not talk about them. I was like, thank you. I don't want to talk about your kids. How did you know?
What was the other thing that made me laugh? Oh, how much is your property worth? We can't talk about that. It's 38 million next door, but we can't talk about that.
She's like, we couldn't possibly talk about how much my house is worth. 38 million. So good. She says she loves staying fit and healthy, and it's basic manners to have Botox. Then she says that David Attenborough should be in Double Bay working on a documentary because she's the only person left, or one of three left, with their original nose, tits, and lips. Do you believe it?
Or I want her nose.
Yeah, I think Victoria is stunning. I'm loving the fur thing.
That's going to be a great storyline with the vet. Can see that coming.
Yes, I think they've cleverly thought that one out. Next, we get introduced to Terry, and so she's launched her own shoe brand since 2002. And 2002. What did you think of her shoes? Have you heard of her brand?
Never heard of a brand.
Okay.
I've heard of a husband, though.
So in Melbourne, we're not really that into the rugby, so I've not heard of him. Is he a big deal?
He is a big. I couldn't tell you his name, but I know he's a big deal because I've seen him plastered on everything.
Yeah.
So that's how. When I saw him, I was like, I know his image, but I couldn't. I'm not into sports.
Last episode with Gene, I was like, I don't even know what NRL stands for. So
yeah, no, me neither.
He's not hot enough for me. I'm like, if you're going to have a rugby husband, could you at least have picked a hotter one? I don't know. I wouldn't kick him out of bed, but
Yeah, I'd suck him off for free.
Same here. Then we get Chrissy with her husband Johnny, who must be back from China. Because remember last season, the whole thing was, Johnny's in China. I'm stuck here with the kids. Good to see the kids are back.
I love having her on the show because it's nice having that. Because I don't know if you're watching the new New York version of Housewives.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, it lacks not having. Because you don't. It's nice to have some anchor from one of the franchises.
Yes.
Like that's what Ramona was always your anchor.
Exactly.
That's why I love Chrissy and Nicole being in this, actually.
I mean, the new Roni, it's like finally getting a little bit interesting now, but it's like the end of the season.
Yeah.
It's like they saved it all to
boring.
the end. And it's boring. So Chrissy, we got Chrissy. She says she's #blessed. There's some photos of the kids. They're all grown up. Then she shows us her new house. So she's had her house renovated. Again, it's another $30+ million home. Ridiculous. Where is this house? It's insane.
I think it's in Double Bay from what I can tell.
I think she might be one of the Double Bay
I think she's a double bayer. And what do I like? Even rich people let their dogs piss on the floor. I sort of love that.
Yeah. On her Kyle Richards-esque floor tiles, checkered tiles. Then we meet Sally. Sally says no one says she's a fun mum.
I
which
quite
I was like
her.
Okay. Yeah, she seems the most kind of vulnerable. We get her breast cancer story straight up, which I was like, wow, okay, we're doing that. That was quite sad. She made a pact with the universe to do good, and apparently owning a wellness brand is doing good.
Yeah. Making millions of money.
I was like, okay, there's a bit of a gap there for me. But she does actually seem quite likable. I was already.
And what television show was she on?
That's what I want to know. I don't recognize her from telly.
Like her. I'm assuming she's got some empathy compared to some of the other women.
She seems a little bit more grounded, and she's been through something quite traumatic. So
who's the one on Housewives of Melbourne that always has her hair up like that? They have the eating business. She reminds me of her.
Oh, Chica.
Yeah, she's like that kind of life.
Okay, so you're saying she's not going to be good drama then?
No, I don't think she's going to be good drama. But she's going to be But the voice of reason. Within all the, and I think you need a voice of. That's what last season of Sydney didn't have.
There was no
voice of reason
to be seen. Absolutely.
And if you don't have a voice of reason, I don't think it's just chaos. I think if there's no voice of reason.
Then we move to Nicole. So Nicole is poolside drinking champagne at Chrissy's. She tells us that she became the CEO of the O'Neill household and the general manager of Narwhal and Neve, which I was like, oh, okay, we get it. Like, you're a housewife. I thought that was pretty cringe. But then we get another returning cast member from season 1, Jo Bailey. She goes in for a blow wave. Do you know Jo?
I actually know Jo Bailey's ex-boyfriend, Adam Williams. We used to dance together back in the 90s.
I knew you'd have a connection. So he was on season 1. There was obviously that iconic scene where he belittled the Lavendi jewelry, the dear little thing. Do you remember that? He was like, brought into the drama of season 1. So I'm glad that he's figured out a way to worm his way into season 2. Nicole and her girls, I just found that whole thing a bit much. Like, it was giving Kyle Richards when Farah went off to college. Like, is her whole story like kids are leaving?
And I think that, did you think Nicole is just a connection to all the other women and won't have a storyline?
Yeah, it's just, I don't
Did she have a story? Did she have a storyline season 1?
Not really. No, you're right. She was just there. Her storyline in season 1 was she took her daughters to the back of the plane to see the economy class. Remember?
And I think that's
okay.
Well, if do the washing, that's her storyline. And there's going to be tissue in the washing. Oh, how devastating!
Oh my God, the washing scene. I was like, it was gripping television. We get to watch someone learn how to do laundry. Then we get Carolyn. She's with her daughter Gigi. She obviously wants her daughter to become a supermodel by calling her Gigi.
Can I just... I reckon Gigi, the daughter, was about as natural on television as Caroline's breasts.
Yeah, she was like, oh, Mum, it's so great to be here with you on the beach. Then she goes, they're walking on, I think, Bronte Beach, and she's like, you don't get this in the Gold Coast. I'm like, you literally do. It's a beach. Like, what are you talking about? So Gigi...
And what I don't get about that when she said she's studying to be a lawyer, it's like Legally Blonde.
Yes, totally. Yeah, I know. I'm here for Carolyn. I think she's going to give us probably the best tally out of all of them.
Okay, I've got a question for you. What do you think Caroline's husband did for a living?
Oh, God. Well, she didn't want to talk about it, hey, but I don't know. But she's definitely got away from that
drug cartel, I reckon. Drug cartel.
Oh, my God. Just to kick her while she's down with the porn star rumors. We're going to just add that as well, are we? Yeah, look, maybe.
She reminds me of someone that used to be... her name was Trishy Dishy. She looked like Caroline, and she used to go out partying all the time with her children, doing the drugs.
Yeah, I can see
that's
that.
That's what she reminds me of. But is that Is that we do judge people by their cover all the time, but she's probably lovely.
Well, that's the thing. And that's even her tagline. She's like, judge my cover and you'll miss my story, which I thought was one of the better ones.
Yeah, cute.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
I'm rooting for her. I definitely don't like, that she's already getting judged for, and her style's not even that out there. Like, it's just compared to the rest of the women that are quite conservative, really. And she just has her tits out. Like, that's it, really. Like,
and this is the thing with conservative people. They're so easily offended by every little thing that happens. Like the white tablecloth. I was like, sweetheart.
And she even brings it up. Yeah, she brings up, she says, tall poppy syndrome in Australia is an issue for her.
I agree with that.
Totally agree. I was like, I get you, girl. They're all coming for you because they're jealous.
Yeah, and in saying that, do you think you sense that on camera from her? I feel like she's not totally 100% comfortable in front of the cameras.
Not
because
yet.
Of that.
Yeah, I think she's easing into it. She also tells us that aging is for the lazy.
I have to agree.
You've got to stay on top of it. She's sitting in front of an infrared light. So she's single as well. She's been, she said, there's plenty of fish in the sea, but I've seen the fish and I'm not impressed. I'm glad there's a few single cast members because when they're all just doing their shit with their husband and their kids, it's kind of boring. So her and Kate.
Well, let's get into Kate. What do you think of Kate?
So Kate's probably my least favorite so far from the introductions. Yeah. I don't know. I thought she was a bit cold, and like it's like she doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, it's weird. And what should we be getting into her opening a big mouth when it's not? I have a problem with people opening their mouth about something that's got nothing to do with them.
Absolutely. And that's what we find this episode. The drama really circles around her confronting Chrissy about the porn star comment when, I agree. It wasn't really her battle. And I think it's like, look at Carolyn. She obviously doesn't care what people think of her. So like, maybe she doesn't really need you to do this for her. I thought it was a bit awkward.
And do you think Chrissy really said it?
Probably. I think so.
Yeah.
I wish she would have owned it.
But sometimes, how long ago did they meet is the question. Like, how long ago was this? And could she been drunk and said that comment like, "Oh, you look like a porn star," but she said she looked like a hooker.
Yeah, so she's self-deprecating,
self-aware, self-aware. She's self-aware enough, but I don't know. Is it that bad to look like a porn star, though? She does look like a porn star,
If I was her, I would have just been like, fuck yeah, I look like a porn star. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. If she just fully embraced it, it would have just been like, let's move on.
Yeah. And porn stars do look like that.
Yes.
And there's nothing, there's nothing ridiculous. That's why they're porn stars.
The next scene we have is Victoria and Chrissy going horse riding.
Oh, with the Minnie Cooper.
With the Minnie Cooper. So this is where Victoria gets to show off her big, stunning horse, and Chrissy gets Nugget, the Minnie Cooper. I thought Chrissy was like trying really hard to have fun in this scene. Like she's bouncing up and down, she's being a bit slutty, a bit silly. And Victoria was being very prim and proper, wasn't she? She's like,
yeah. I really love Chrissy because she does, as she says, she shoots from the hip.
Yes.
Do you think Victoria was born into money?
100%.
And I sort of like the juxtaposition of having these. I think when you come money, your outlook on life is very different. Like I don't give a fuck that when you come from no money, you give a fuck about.
Yes.
The difference from being born into money and coming from nothing, I think you tend to come with a bit more empathy. Where, talking about fur and not caring about the animals with her, but also being a vet. But caring and having empathy. I do think Kate's got empathy, but she's a hard nut as well.
Yeah, I think she's been hurt, obviously. So she's kind of protecting herself a bit by being a bit of a strong character, which, that's cool. She could warm to me.
And can I just say bad fashion sense?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, my God. So there's a scene. She meets up with Carolyn and they go out for lunch and she's wearing like a fucking biscuit tin print dress.
Oh, it was horrible. See, money can't buy your taste, can it?
And then what she wears to the lunch at the end as well, I was like, girl, no. So we're at lunch with Kate and Carolyn. She's wearing the hideous biscuit tin dress. Kate tells us about how she knows everyone in the eastern suburbs through their animals.
Well, it was interesting when Kate saw her and she said, "Oh, most people can't see me because they remind me of their
Yes,
trauma."
I would not be able to just hang out with the vet that put my dog down because it would just, I don't know. I'm
That reminds
emotional
me of
like that.
That reminds me of my season 2 cast. I can't hang out with them.
That's not true. We get to the main event of the episode, which is Terry's very fabulous lunch at Rain in the Queen Victoria building.
And I don't know if you know Sydney at all,
Yeah.
but I love that they made all the wives walk through Hyde Park first. I mean, the Queen Vic building's on the other side of town.
Nowhere near there. Yeah, yeah.
And you wouldn't be making those women walk in those heels all that way.
Absolutely not. Chrissy tells us that Terry, Biviano, and lunch go together like honey and bees. So she's the lady who loves to lunch. And then this is where Carolyn says she's only got 2 looks: high class hooker or homeless person.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was instant fave. What did you think of the looks for the lunch?
What did I think? I think they all look good. Who did I like? Do you know who I really like? It's Nicole's. It's that proper sort of princess.
It's classy.
It's classy. It's housewifey. It is housewifey. But I really love her style. Even, I know this is really weird. When she was sitting chatting to her daughter and she had that beautiful jumper on, when she was chatting to her daughter.
It's very classic. Very classic elegance. I thought Victoria looked the best. I thought she looked really hot in her fur and those sunnies.
See, I struggled with the fur. I struggled with the fur because I'm with Kate on that. I have to say.
I get the feeling we're going to see a lot of just blatant fur from her at all times, just to promote her brand.
I can't wait for Kate to throw paint over her.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
And then we had Chrissy and Sally both wearing green.
Yes.
Sally with a bit more skin showing.
Yes. Which one's Sally again? I'm trying to think. Sally's the one, the TV presenter.
Yes. Yeah. Breast cancer has the vitamin brand.
And do you know what I'm amazed at? How the women look so beautiful with their hair so flat behind their ears. Like, it's sort of a dorky look, but they actually look really glamorous. So I was like, oh, you're pulling that off.
Yeah, there was some good hair. Victoria at this lunch had a few sort of like crazy flyaways going on, but I'll forgive it. Probably all the static from the fur. She's, static hard. Kate tells us that Chrissy pretended not to know her when they first rocked up at the lunch. I fucking hate it when people do that. So I'm kind of... That would annoy me. I don't know. What was your read on that dynamic?
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it? Because it wasn't like she did not know her, but maybe she didn't acknowledge it. Because it looked like Chrissy was just having a good time. See, I really like to Chrissy. I don't know. I don't know if that's just because she's familiar, but I do love that she's like a bloke. Do you think she did not? Chewbacca? Do you think she didn't remember? Well, she obviously doesn't remember a lot of things, Chrissy.
Well, yeah, she doesn't remember saying porn star. She doesn't remember meeting
Kate. Or do you think... Yeah, I'm not... Because it's not like she didn't say she didn't know her.
True.
It was just like she didn't acknowledge that they'd had an altercation.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of that scenario. It wasn't like she didn't know her, but she didn't acknowledge... Do you think she obviously was her vet?
Yeah, and it sounds like she's been everyone's vet at some point. So she'd be used to people remembering her or not remembering her.
And do you reckon Chrissy would be a bad client?
Yeah, I reckon she could be. She seems like she knows what she wants. She's not afraid to ask for it, but get it.
Yeah, I don't know. But see, I don't know if I really trust Kate. I don't trust anyone that brings up somebody else's business in front of other people.
I like Chrissy. I like Chrissy because she's not afraid to be a bit crass. Like the rest of them are doing the prim and proper thing. Like we get in this scene, Victoria goes, everything we say with Chrissy, it always comes back to sex. Ooh. And I'm like, and good.
But isn't that? But don't rich people? I don't understand that. Yeah, I don't get that. But is that money?
Yeah. So
money buys you manners. Money doesn't buy you class.
Money buys you Botox, which Botox equals manners, apparently.
Thank you.
So the ladies sit down to lunch. Terry, of course, has bought them all gifts. So I was like, good, you've seen the show before. You're doing gifts at the lunch. What did you think of the Zodiac earrings?
Well, I love a Scorpio because they're good in bed.
Well, Kate loves a Scorpio too. She's going on about it. What star sign are you?
I am a Gemini.
Oh.
I think that's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, now that you're saying it. Kate only hires Scorpios, though, in her
I
practice.
know
I thought that was a bit much.
that's weird, isn't it? See,
So
this is
weird.
I'm not warming to Kate.
Like, imagine you go to a job interview and they're like, yep, you sound great, but just one last thing. Just what was your star
you a
sign?
sc-
And you're like, Gemini. Oh, sorry, the door's over there. You'd be like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Kate then talks about they're all piling on Kate about how she's single, which I thought this was a bit mean. They're all asking her, oh, but do you want a partner? Do you want to be with a partner? And it's like, fuck off. Like,
Well, this is the thing that always, because I've been single for years, but I always say I'm happily single.
Exactly.
Because I don't think it's for everyone, and I don't think it's for Kate.
Exactly. And she's kind of knowing that, I think, but I think she feels pressure from these ladies and broadly society to like have a partner because that's what everyone expects from her.
And I suppose this is the bigger conversation in everything, like it's the way someone looks, if being offended by that, and just it's the same sort of topic. There's nothing wrong with a woman being single and not wanting to have children, but she's got a successful business, and I'm sure being a vet, her life is 24/7.
Oh, exactly.
Like it would have to be. So I think good on her.
Good on her. And my favorite thing she said all episode was that she goes to Greece and Italy every year and there's a different dick waiting for her every time. I was like, fuck yeah. It's like your life sounds pretty good.
How old do you reckon Kate is?
Oh,
35?
I think we found this out. It said late 30s, I think, on the bios. So yeah, I reckon she could be around 35.
How old do you reckon Caroline is?
Oh, I reckon she'd be one to lie about it. That's all I know.
She's 28.
Yeah, totally. Well, Gigi is 18. So I don't know if my maths isn't great, but if we work backwards from that,
I reckon she's 50.
Yeah. And just that work.
She's got to be. Yeah,
because she was concerned with aging or not aging.
Yeah. Not aging.
So then we get the moment where the conversation turns to the porn star comment. Kate brings it up and says, "Oh, look, Carolyn was really anxious about coming to this lunch because of this porn star comment," and then Chrissy just flatly denies it.
Yeah. And to Chrissy's, like, I want a timeline. I want to know how long ago they actually met. Was there alcohol involved?
I get the feeling we're gonna dig deeper in the next few episodes. Like, it's not the end of it.
It's not the end of it, is it? This is the storyline for the very first part of the season, if not the whole season.
Exactly.
I reckon. Do you know what's weird? I reckon Caroline and Chrissy would be the best of mates, though. As in personality-wise, because they're both sort of a bit rough around the edges. Well, that's the
thing. They both seem like they're like sexually quite comfortable and they're a bit more fun. Yeah, I thought they would get on as well. Who knows?
Yeah, so I find it weird that they have this confrontation.
Exactly. Then Kate feels stupid because she brought it up and Carolyn didn't really want her to. So yes.
So you should, Dale.
Do you reckon the producers perhaps had something to do with it?
100%.
Yeah. You would know. Like when they come over and they're like, hey, why don't you...
Oh, they're coming for you. What do you think about it? What?
Triggered.
Triggered, so triggered. What was I going to say? Oh, and do you know what? Being a new housewife, what do you want? Airtime.
Exactly. So good on her. She's playing the game.
And this is why Chrissy and Nicole, they're so relaxed. Like Nicole's just sitting there having a nice lunch. She's not getting involved in nothing because she doesn't care because she said, I'm back for season 3.
Yeah, she's like, I'm getting a paycheck, whatever.
Yeah. I just, don't you think there is a difference you can tell the difference between the new housewives and the old two?
The old ones know what they're doing. They're a little bit more comfortable on camera. I think they're happy to be back because it was like 6 years ago. So it's been a while.
No, but
so they would have been
so long ago.
Gagging.
6 years ago. I think I've got a photo of it somewhere. I'll send it to you.
Oh, of you and Chrissy. Yeah, please do.
Yeah, I will.
Then we get them all doing their porn star names. So what's it? The first name of your first pet and the name of your first street. What's your
Pat Blaxall Street. Pat Blaxall Street.
Pat Blaxall.
Oh, Pat. Yes. What's yours?
Mine's Jumpy Fenton.
And it's supposed to be your drag name as well.
Is it really? No, you got to.
Yeah, they do.
Better drag name.
What's your drag name?
Oh God.
What's your drag name?
I always come up with them when I'm trolleyed and then I forget them in the morning.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So many good ones out there.
My favorite drag name that's yet to be used is Nelly Furtacco.
Oh my God. I'm stealing that. That's great.
Yeah.
You'll see me. I'll come up to Sydney and do a show. Minnie Cooper and Nelly Furtacco. So after the porn star names, Nicole invites all the girlies over for an Arabian Nights themed dinner party, which I'm like, great. We love a bit of cultural appropriation on Australian television. So I can't wait for them all to rock up in belly dancing outfits next week. And then Terry goes, I've got a surprise for you, which I'm thinking stripper. They're all thinking stripper. And then it's a fucking guy with a saxophone.
Oh, which was quite funny.
It was funny, but I was like, come on. And then they awkwardly dance. And then Victoria says my favorite quote of the episode, I can't stand dancing. I can't stand people wooing. I accidentally wooed and I'm hating myself for it. Queen.
She is quite fun.
She's very funny. I thought her bits to camera were the best this episode. Like she's really having fun with it. Do
you think she's going to be quite polarizing?
Yeah,
Victoria?
I think the fur thing, people will hate the fur thing.
Yeah, and I hate the fur thing.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it sounds like it's all just foxes and stuff, which I'm like, go for gold with that. As long as she's not killing any endangered species, I'm all right. I don't think it's that controversial. But
I suppose we still kill cows to eat.
Yeah, exactly. But I love that it's going to rub some girlies up the wrong way, and she does not give a fuck.
Do you think there's going to be fights like there was in season 1, or do you think they're going to be a bit tamer?
I think it's a conscious decision, this casting, to turn it around from season 1 and make it a little bit more like Melbourne was, where it's like you actually get to know them a bit, and then every now and then they have a little tiff, but it's not like chaos constantly.
Yeah. Because it was chaos. Who was the kooky one from
Athena X?
Athena
She was Jats Crackers, don't you remember?
She was Jats Crackers, wasn't she? And she was horrible as well. What was her name?
Victoria. Victoria Reese.
With the blonde hair.
Yes, she was a nightmare. Rewatching that. Did you
ever watch Vancouver Housewives?
No, that's the one of the few that I haven't watched. Is it good?
They were so toxic they didn't even have a reunion.
Oh shit! Okay, that's bad. Yeah, because Sydney had a reunion. And it was just Alex Perry pleading with these women, being like, "Please stop, please. I'm just trying to speak."
I think the Canadian one, it was Vancouver, and they were toxic. Like, it was really vicious.
Because I think they only did one season, didn't they? There's a few where they do. They did two. There's a few where they try and start it, and then it just flops for whatever reason.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think they go for the drama, but then I think sometimes the drama leads into toxicity, which is a real tricky balance.
Then we get sort of like the episode finishes, we get a trailer for the season to come. And it looks like there's quite a few feuds between different pairings, which I'm excited about.
And I think it flops and changes between friendships. By the looks of it.
Which is what you want. You know, it's kind of shit when they just all take a side at the start and then it stays that way. I like it when they kind of people defect and then break their loyalty and then they get in trouble for doing that.
And speaking of that, just because it's on the top of my mind watching New York Housewives, because you know who's the one?
Jessel.
I really like her.
Oh, she's great.
But I feel like they're ganging up.
It's a pylon. It's like such
a pylon.
Sai and Erin are just like.
I don't like Erin at all. I don't like
cute.
either of them.
Erin's husband gives me the creeps. I think he looks greasy.
Do you think he's sleeping around on her?
I don't, but I would love that.
I think.
You think he is? I don't think.
Yeah, I think he is.
I wouldn't go near him, but anyway. I just love that they're all on Parvit for flying to Vietnam. To use the miles. And did you see he's like done a TikTok or something explaining it all? And I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. Like my husband is obsessed with miles and points hacks and shit. And I'm like, yeah, it's a thing. Like look it up. Yeah.
And what was the like trying to catch her I love it when they try to catch people in a lie and then they show you the conversation back.
Yes.
She is telling the truth. but it's not, she didn't say that exact date, or she doesn't know. There might be just a little bit of miscommunication, but it's just everything she says is a lie. It's like, I feel sorry for her, and I really like her.
Yeah, me too. I like her, and I like Jenna Lyons, but I think
me too.
I can't see her coming back. I think she doesn't look like she's having fun, but I'm enjoying her on the show.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad it's over though, because fuck, it was a slow burn.
I know we're getting on to different. What do you think of it? Do you watch OC?
Yes, that was a great season of OC. That's just
finished.
Yeah,
that's just finished. Can't wait for the reunion.
Yes.
Beverly Hills, I'm looking forward to. Can't wait. Kyle Richards finally got a storyline.
Oh, which, I mean, come on. She's clearly self-producing at this point, don't you think? Like, it's got to be some queer baiting. There's no way she's left Mauricio to be with that chick. Like, I reckon it's all for show. I reckon it's all bullshit.
You reckon? Wow. And this is controversial. Are you sad Lisa Rinna's gone?
Yes, I am. Like, say what you want about her, but she's like fucking iconic. It's Lisa Rinna. Like, I think we'll miss her. I think that even the haters will miss her, because she just, without a doubt, brings great telly.
Yeah. My friend of mine says I'm the Lisa Rinna.
Oh, totally. You definitely have Rinna energy.
I think so too. I just don't have lips.
So you're going to miss her then?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I thought she was great TV. I think, and also think Lisa Rinna was in the producer's pockets, because every season she was the catalyst of all drama. And I'd just like to say a tick to the producers of Housewives of Sydney. I thought it was a great reality television housewife episode. I thought it was really entertaining for a first.
I'm with you 100%. I'm looking forward to the season. I think it's going to have a good pace.
Love it. Well, thanks for having me on your pod.
Thank you so much. And you're the first ever guest. So what an honor.
I feel privileged. Finally feel like a virgin once again.
Amazing. And Minnie, where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me on the interwebs on the Minnie Cooper. Yeah, great. Love it. Up your bum, no babies.
Wow, what a fun episode. So fun to catch up with Minnie. What a delight. Had the best time talking shit with her about the Housewives. Next week, I'll be back with episode 2. So make sure you do all the things, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. We're back with another super special guest, and we will continue to talk shit on Real Housewives of Sydney.